A very good evening and welcome to the national broadcast. I am Malsha Dharmavardhana.
Good evening, I am Lakshita Singha. We start off tonight by taking a quick look at the headlines.
Government grants 2.5 million rupees on behalf of Priyantha Kumara, who was killed in Pakistan. Pakistan Prime Minister says the monthly salary of the deceased will be provided to the wife continuously. Ministerial Consultative Committee on Defence met under President's patronage. Operations of Sapugaskanda oil refinery resumes. Tamil National Alliance alleges the opposition leader has not given them the opportunity in the parliamentary debate. Samagi Jana Balawegya boycotts the parliamentary sittings today. Rauf Hakim arrives in the chamber. 40 new forest lands declared as forest reserves. The United States decides to boycott Winter Olympics in China in protest.
We start off with the top story for tonight. The government has decided to grant 2.5 million rupees for the welfare of the family of late Priyantha Kumara Diyawadana, who was brutally killed in Sialkot in Pakistan. The Cabinet of Ministers has granted the approval to provide the amount from the Employees Welfare Fund of the Bureau of Foreign Employment. The remains of late Priyantha Kumara Diyawadana were brought back to the country yesterday. Subsequently, the remains were directed to a post-mortem at the Nigambo Hospital. Then the remains were taken to his residence in Kandali at the Palu area in Ganemulla last night. Religious leaders including Mahasangha and public representatives also paid their last respects to the remains today. The final rites are expected to be held tomorrow at 3 p.m. at the Ganemulla Polhena Public Cemetery. Sialkot Commerce and Industries Board had shared with media that the business network and the progress achieved thus far in the region had been devastated following the lynching of a Sri Lankan national. The board has further pointed out that the region's economy, which was built upon exports, has been heavily impacted following the incident, and a long time will be taken to return to normalcy. Ahmed Naim Salik, a researcher of Institute of Strategic Studies in Islamabad, said that the GSP Plus concession, which was expected to be granted to Pakistan, will be delayed by another year. It was expected to be granted after considering the progress achieved in human rights situation in the country. However, he has pointed out that the incident occurred in Sialkot would return the country back to the previous conditions while impacting on the economy. The collective of Islamic religious leaders in Pakistan has condemned the killing of late Priyantha Kumara Diyawadana. Chairman of the Council of Islamic Ideology, Dr. Qibla Ayaz, has indicated that the incident can be considered as anti-Islamic and inhuman arbitrary murder. Therefore, he has requested to impose the maximum punishment under the law against those who were involved in the incident. The Islamic religious leaders have also praised the decision of Prime Minister Imran Khan to present the Medal of Bravery to Malik Adnan for his efforts to rescue late Priyantha Kumara from the violent mobs. The relevant statement was issued after the Islamic leaders in Pakistan met with High Commissioner of Sri Lanka to Islamabad, Vice Admiral Mohan Vijay Vikrama. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Imran Khan said the Pakistani government will not tolerate violence in the name of religion, and those who commit such acts will not be spared by the authorities. The Prime Minister made these remarks during a condolence reference held at his office for the late Priyantha Kumara. The Pakistani Prime Minister also said the family of late Priyantha Kumara will continue to receive his monthly salary for the duration of their lifetime. Also, the business community in Sialkot has so far collected $100,000 for the family.
The Ministerial Consultative Committee on Defence met under the patronage of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa at the Parliamentary Complex today. The President, who arrived at the Parliament as the chairman of the committee, was received by the leadership of the House, Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, and Chief Government Whip, Minister Johnston Fernando. The national security of the country, law and order, the current issues that have received the attention of the security forces, and a number of issues and proposals put forward by ministers, including Minister Chamal Rajapaksa, State Minister and members of Parliament, were discussed at the meeting. Secretary General of Parliament Dhammika Dasanayaka, Secretary of the Defence Ministry General Kamal Gunaratne, commanders of the three armed forces, the Inspector General of Police and officials of institutions under the Ministry of Defence were also present.
The operations of the Sapugaskanda oil refinery were resumed today after a period of 22 days. The majority production of the Sapugaskanda oil refinery is fuel oil for electricity generation, aviation fuel and kerosene. The government reached a decision to temporarily suspend the importation of crude oil after considering the increase in hydropower generation with the heavy rainfall and as a solution for the prevailing foreign exchange shortage. Minister Uday Gammampila said that the operations of the oil refinery has resumed. He said that the government has imported 700,000 crude oil barrels at an expense of $59 million. He added that crude oil sufficient for 26 days has been imported as the refinery is functioning under low capacity. He also said that 65,000 tons of fuel oil has been imported thus far. The minister said that necessary steps are being taken to ensure a continuous crude oil supply. He rejected the claims made on the alleged sale of the oil refinery as baseless.
Parliamentarian presenting Tamil National Alliance Charles Nirmalanathan has requested the Speaker of the Parliament to assign the opportunity for his party to present the cut motion at the committee stage debate of the Appropriation Bill 2022. In the letter directed to the Speaker of the Parliament, the Tamil National Alliance parliamentarian has indicated that the MPs representing his party has not been included in the list prepared by the opposition leader's office to present this motion. The opposition leader's office traditionally organizes all necessary preparations for the committee stage debate of the appropriation bill. Expenditure heads of each ministry are taken for debate during the committee stage debate of the appropriation bill. Accordingly, the debate is opened by the opposition and it is tradition to cut 10 rupees from the expenditure head of each ministry during the debate. The decision to grant the opportunity for other parties in the opposition to present the cut motion is made by Office of the Opposition Leader. However, the list prepared by the Office of the Opposition Leader to present the said motion is only consist of the parliamentarians of the Samagi Jana Balavega and the National People's Power. Accordingly, the letter sent to the Speaker of the Parliament by Tamil National Alliance parliamentarian Charles Nirmalanathan has mentioned that TNA had the second highest MPs in the opposition, yet their names have not been mentioned in the list. The expenditure heads of ministries taken up for the debate on December 6th and 7th were passed in the Parliament without any debate since the parliamentarians of the Samagi Jana Balavega boycotted these sittings. Therefore, the Tamil National Alliance have further indicated that they were deprived of the opportunity to present issues pertaining to the people in North and East related to the expenditure heads of the ministries taken up for debate. The letter has further indicated that even though opposition is given a 60% of the debate time, their party has only been given insignificant amount of time during the debates. Accordingly, the parliamentarian has requested the Speaker to grant the opportunity for the Tamil National Alliance to present cut motions during the ongoing debates. The government MPs have also emphasized that they has also been deprived of the opportunity to share their views and opinions due to the failure of the Samagi Jana Balavega to traditionally present the cut motion and boycotting the sittings. Directing a letter to the Speaker, the parliamentarians have pointed out that it is a breach of privileges of the parliamentarians as well as the general public who have elected them to the Parliament. A request has been made to the Speaker through the letter signed by 35 MPs to grant them the opportunity to share their views and opinions during the forthcoming debates despite the standing orders of the Parliament.
In the meantime, the expenditure heads of fisheries, environment and wildlife ministries and affiliated state ministries were passed in the parliament today. However, the parliamentarians of the Samagi Jana Balawegaya boycotted today's sittings as well. Samagi Jana Balawegaya parliamentarians indicated that following the incidents occurred in the parliament on last Friday and Saturday, they will not appear in the parliament until their security is ensured. They also boycotted yesterday's parliamentary sittings. However, a parliamentarian had recorded a video of Samagi Jana Balawegaya parliamentarian Rauf Hakim entering and exiting the parliamentary chamber today. Opportunity was given for government and opposition MPs to share their remarks over the expenditure heads of ministries which were taken up for debate today. Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna parliamentarian Mohammad Muzammil inquired the number of state sector employment opportunities given away during the last 5 years. State Minister Shehan Semasinghe said that a total of 20,145 state sector job opportunities have been given away during the 2015 to 2019 period. However, he said that the current president has given away 60,000 state sector job opportunities for graduates. Parliamentarian Ranil Wickramasinghe said that the finance minister should be present in the parliament to respond for such inquiries. In response, Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that the finance minister attends parliamentary sittings and looks into such issues. State Minister Shehan Semasinghe said that the finance minister has fulfilled his duties diligently. Parliamentarian Ranil Wickramasinghe said that the finance minister recently visited India even though the central bank governor insisted that the country will not seek for foreign assistance. State Minister Shehan Semasinghe said that the government will not sell the assets of the country. However, he said that the Yahapalana government introduced the methodology to sell national assets. State Minister Indika Anuruddha said that the 7.5 economic growth rate in the country was reduced to 2.5% during the Yahapalana government period.
State Minister Lasantha Alagiyawanna says that the consumers who were affected from the accidents occurred through gas leakages will be compensated fairly. He made these remarks during a media briefing held today to announce the cabinet decisions. State Minister Lasantha Alagiyawanna said that information over 400 incidents have already been gathered and necessary steps will be taken to avoid such situations to occur in future. After studying the outcomes of the relevant inquiries, he said that the affected consumers will be compensated fairly. He further said that necessary measures will be taken to coordinate with the local agents to restrict substandard gas cylinders from being entering the country and issuance of the cylinders to the market. He requested the public to be cautious over the use of gas in the next couple of days. Responding to a query raised by a journalist over the power disruptions occurred during the past couple of days, Minister Ramesh Pathirana said that investigations are underway in this regard. He said that government has directed a special attention to determine whether this incident was sabotage. Remarks were shared over the issuance of national birth certificate with the Sri Lanka identification number. Minister Ramesh Pathirana said that the Department of Registration of Persons have been empowered to issue a Sri Lankan identification number for each Sri Lankan citizen. Accordingly, he said that the relevant identification number will be used throughout the lifetime of the citizen in their activities. He further said that this initiative will ease the citizen to obtaining the services from state and private sector. He said that the Cabinet of Ministers have granted approval to issue the Sri Lankan identity numbers to the Department of Registrar General across the database of the department to the registration of persons and to issue the birth certificates of the relevant individual by the Department of Registrar General, including the received identity number.
Minister Kehelio Rambukwella says that the government has taken all necessary measures to eradicate the COVID-19 pandemic. The minister made these remarks during a meeting held with the Secretary General of the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multisectoral, Technical and Economic Cooperation today. The meeting was held at the Ministry of Health premises. The minister pointed out that as the economy of the country functions on the main sectors including tourism, foreign employment and foreign direct investments, a special attention will be directed on these sectors in parallel to the COVID mitigation process. The minister also said that even though the health protective guidelines have been eased to a certain extent, the health authorities are cautious over the functionalities of these sectors. The Secretary General of the summit extended his appreciation for Sri Lanka's successful vaccination program and the methodology taken to mitigate the COVID-19 spread. Secretary to the Ministry of Health Major General Dr. Sanjeeva Munasinghe, Director General of Health Services Dr. Asela Gunawardena and Acting Director General of Ministry of Foreign Relations Ansul Jahan were present at this occasion. Deputy Director General of Health Services Dr. Hemantha Herath said that the potential surge in COVID-19 cases and deaths during the upcoming festive season can be controlled with strict adherence to health protective guidelines. The inoculation of the booster dose for persons above the age of 60 years and persons above the age of 20 with less immunity was conducted in many districts in the country, including Colombo. A total of 30,712,212 vaccine doses have been inoculated to the people in the country under the COVID immunization program. Accordingly, 15,947,255 persons have received the first dose of the vaccine, while 13,770,028 have received both the doses. A total of 994,929 have received the booster dose thus far. Meanwhile, 526 COVID-19 infected persons were detected in the country today. The number of active cases in the country is at 11,333. A total of 423 recoveries were reported today, increasing the overall tally to 543,111. The Director General of Health Services confirmed 21 COVID-19 related deaths which had occurred yesterday.
Deputy Director General of Health Services Dr. Hemantha Herath made remarks over the functions of surveillance in place at the airport following the detection of the first Omicron infected patient in the country.
Questions have been raised about the surveillance activity of the airport. Again, I want to emphasize that almost in all countries in the world, the surveillance activities are basically aimed at the inbound passengers. And that is why the subject person, she has been not immunized. She was not checked at the airport for immunization. But probably the most possible thing would have been the destination country would have checked, and if they are having any rules and regulations that has to be complied with. However, since the Ministry of Health and the airport authorities are maintaining the surveillance on inbound passengers, we immediately detected this person, although she was a Sri Lankan, as a person who has not vaccinated. And from there onward, we did all possible follow-up on this person, and as a result, we immediately was able to detect this person who is having this variant infection. So I would like to emphasize that the activities at the airport regards to this patient was not in any way failed, or any kind of failure to detect this person did not happen. I would like to emphasize that the third dose is recommended by the relevant expert committees, basically to ensure that to maintain the optimal level of immunity, the third dose of immunization is required, especially for those who are really vulnerable. We know that this vaccination will not 100% prevent the infection, but it will definitely protect you from type of complications, and probability of death will be reduced to a great extent if you are got fully vaccinated.
Governor of Northwestern Province Attorney at Law Raja Kollure had passed away this morning. He was aged 83 at the time of his demise. He passed away while receiving treatments for COVID-19 at the Kotalavala Defence University Hospital. Embarking his journey with the leftist political movement, the late former Governor Kollure served as the chairman of the Communist Party of Sri Lanka. Joining the Communist Party in 1959, he represented in the parliament as well. Assuming several leading positions in the Communist Party, the late governor always committed to further strengthen the leftist political movement. He assumed the General Secretary of the party from 1994 to 2001. An event to extend the revolutionary salute of the Communist Party of Sri Lanka to the late Governor Raja Kollure was held at the party headquarters with the participation of senior leaders of the party this evening. The final rites of the late governor was conducted at the Borella Cemetery this evening under strict COVID health protective guidelines.
You're watching the national broadcast and we continue with more local stories. 40 forest lands have been declared as forest reserves. The relevant gazette was issued recently. So far, the country has a total of 846 protected forest covers as reserve forest, conserve forest and national heritages, comprising a landmass of 1.3 million hectares. The recently gazetted 40 reserve forests comprised of 26,000 hectares. These forests are belonging to Anuradhapura, Polonnaruwa, Mullaitivu, Kilinochchi and Mana districts. The 40 new forest reserves have been gazetted under the proposal of State Minister Wimalaweera Disanayake. The Forest Conservation Department said that steps have been taken to manage these forest reserves under a special plan.
Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva has said that management of human resources is a great challenge amidst a global pandemic. He further added that the international community has a greater responsibility of helping other nations for the transformation of human resources in the digital world with a dynamic turn. He made these remarks at the inauguration ceremony of the World HR Congress 2021. The World HR Congress was held yesterday as a virtual event at the head office of CIPM Sri Lanka with the participation of the President of CIPM Sri Lanka Jayantha Amarasinghe, Chairman of the World HR Congress Dhammika Fernando, CIPM Council members, President of World Federation of People Management Associations Bob Morton, Professor T.V. Rao and key foreign dignitaries participated.
Management of human resources in the middle of a pandemic is a great challenge. Therefore, innovative approaches have to be made in order to take the full benefit of the situation, and wide consultation with professionals, institutions, private sector and international organizations are necessary to arrive at correct approaches and decisions. I, as the Minister of Labour, have my own experience. As soon as COVID-19 started, I summoned a tripartite forum where the employers, trade unions and my ministry were stakeholders. We discussed the disputes and issues every month without affecting industrial peace. I have taken steps to safeguard and empower migrant workers, immigrant workers also. The World HR Congress 2021 will be a suitable forum for discussion the methodology of facing such challenges. The decline of economic growth in the whole world has affected developing countries more than that of developed countries. Sizable section of the human workforce was redundant during the pandemic. The novel theme, transformation of HR in the digital world, become a reality if and only if the necessary technical know-how, technology and resources are made available to all nations. The international community, donor organizations have a greater responsibility of helping the other nations for developing and transformation of HR in the digital world with dynamic turn. I am sure the World HR Congress 2021 will address these vital issues and come up with sustainable suggestions and recommendations.
Shifting of office of the Homagama Land Registry to a new services premises and the issuance of the copies of the extracts and deeds through online system was commenced in Kottawa today. It was held with the participation of Minister Chamal Rajapaksa. The aim of the initiative is to centralize the operation of the Register General Department and the effective service to the public under the Vistas of Prosperity Policy Statement. More information on the online service can be obtained from www.homagama.gov.lk. online rgd.gov.lk. The opportunity to register lands from the public in Maharagama, Homagama and Kaduwal areas from the Office of Homagama Land Registry using the online technology has been facilitated from today. Minister Chamal Rajapaksa said that the relevant online service will be initiated further in Kundasale, Narammala, Walasmulla areas. Minister Gamini Lokuge was also present at the occasion.
Leader of the New Democratic People's Front, Nadaraja Ravikumar, says that the present government has taken efforts to protect the media freedom. However, he said that the opposition has links with certain incidents that took place in the north. He made these remarks in a media briefing held today. Leader of New Democratic People's Front Nadaraja Ravikumar said that in the incident related to the alleged assault on journalist Vishwa Chandran Vishwa, a few persons were apprehended and produced before the court within 24 hours. Therefore, he extended his gratitude to the President, Prime Minister and Minister Dallas Alaha Peruma for the prompt measures taken in this regard. He said that the government has taken efforts to protect the media freedom. However, he said that the opposition has links with certain incidents that took place in the north and criticizes the government over these incidents. And that's all the stories for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow at the very same time. Until then, stay safe. Good night.
Good night.